Just let me know when we go in so I can open up.
Are you ready to get showcased? Yeah!
Welcome everybody to another live edition of the Showcase Pod. I am Don Vega, joined in the studio by the boss Chris Blackheart and Dan Badandi. Are you guys there?
What's up, Don? What's going on, bro?
We are here this week. Mother Nature didn't shut the pod down.
Well, it was shut down last week, for reasons beyond our control. Trees down, power out in Rhode Island, some parts of Rhode Island, so we had to take a forcible hiatus during July 4th weekend. Chris Blackheart, how was your 4th? You ate a lot of burgers, drank a lot of beer.
Now you want to be friendly because it's the summertime, huh? You don't have, what's the matter? Cena didn't give any orders?
I mean, he gave me a few. I mean, he had a barbecue. I heard he wasn't invited, so
Well, I was up in that neck of the woods, and Kathy advised me not to go there.
Well,
literally that would have been on the 5th, so that means I could have caught Sleepy John in the chair outside in the yard, and we could have had a one-on-one conversation. And
now, why would you do that? Why would you go?
Well, because that's what should have been done a while ago, but better judgment did not go. So I do thank you for asking about the 4th, but that's where the 4th was going to go.
Well, you know what should have not been done a while ago, and I hope she's watching this episode. Catherine should have read documents before she signed anything.
Yeah. Well, you never watch out for a helping hand because it can be a slap in the face or a kick in the ass. So,
well, speaking of slapping in the face and kicking in the ass, we got a whole bunch of news. We got events coming up. We got a full house in the next couple of weeks coming up with live events, other news, other wrestling news. Have you been keeping track of everything going on?
Ironically, it's been a lot going on across the board. So I'll be happy to have conversations and give you some ideas. I know just this look coming up this weekend. It's not even Showcase Pro Wrestling, and it's talking about ticket sales. I know Danny sent me an article regarding ticket sales of this weekend event. Do you want to fill people in?
Well, go ahead, Daniel. You got the information?
Oh, you killed Danny. Oh, you know what it is, Danny? You probably sent it on Messenger before you got kicked off of Facebook. So Danny sent me an article regarding this weekend regarding the women evolution and regarding ticket sales.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I've heard the news of that. Obviously, this is a big weekend of wrestling. We got Saturday night's main event going on. Sunday we have the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, or PBL, or whatever they call it now. And rewind back to Friday night, it's going to be all in the same arena in Atlanta, SmackDown. So, apparently tickets not moving very hot for Evolution. If I'm not mistaken, the numbers were around 3,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, for that event on Sunday.
So the question I have with that, and for years, it's been said that whatever WWE gives you, you'll absorb, you take, and you like it, and a lot of people do. So my question is, 3,000 people. They probably sold out Friday, sold out Saturday. Do you think they overkilled the market, or do you think the interest in an all-woman show is just not there?
Could be a little bit of everything, you know, and not to get off the topic about the evolution and the ticket sales. It's funny that you actually posted some information earlier, some data about the Great American Bash in the year 1989, and it goes hand in hand that every day you learn something new. I did know that 89 was in Massachusetts in the Springfield Civic Center, but I did not know that the attendance were 1,000 people or under 1,000 people for that event. I mean, if you go back and watch the footage now, you kind of get a glimpse of how dark the arena was, but it looked pretty good on camera, so kudos to whoever did the coverage and the production on that pay-per-view there, because it still looked like a decent house on camera. That's probably why I don't know if you knew, I didn't know that they drew a shit house that day, and they canceled a show that was supposed to happen not at the Civic Center like the video that you posted said. It was supposed to be at the Brown University Stadium near Hope Street, and they canceled because they ain't sell any tickets. And then I guess they went to the Garden and had about 4,000 people for television tape.
Danny, do you want to show that clip? It was I sent on the pod link. Should be this day in showcase
We got a
history.
showcase.
New England wrestling history.
New England wrestling history. It should be on the messenger for the SP.
No, my Facebook got taken down, so I'm not wrong.
So everything I sent you in the last 2 hours.
Well, yeah, you might send it to the wrong link.
Oh, you're killing me! I sent you the showcase pod, SP pod.
Yeah, don't have nothing.
So then, you know.
Danny, what do you have? One of the jitterbug phones?
No.
That's Crockett that posted the video, and he usually does a lot of good New England wrestling history, little shorts and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Once I saw that, I went back and did a little research with Courtney. He has actually a complete episode of his podcast, and he talked about the whole scenario, how they came down here and drew shitty, and then he clarified that it was the other arena and not the Civic Center. So that's how I found out those details.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Doom on the show?
I'm not sure, but I know one of the main events was the Great Muta versus Sting.
Yeah.
There was another match it was a United States Championship match with Lex Luger.
Yeah, I think Luger and it was Luger and Steamboat.
Yes,
for the
Luger
US
and
title.
Steamboat were at the Garden in Boston, and I don't know what the Providence card was gonna look like, but I know the Great American Bash was Sting and Great Muta. Actually, a good match. I went back and watched some of that stuff today.
And ironically, Flair was out for an injury because that's just when the Terry Funk incident happened.
Yeah.
You know, and Flair, he was the main draw there. But again, this is Northeast. I think that just goes, even back then, now we're going like, 30, is that 30 years?
Yeah, definitely, they were coming into enemy territory.
Yeah.
And, this was Vince's playground, so, that definitely showed 100% that no one was coming in here and playing in his playground, so. I don't know how long after that it took for them to come back. I certainly went to, like the Providence Civic Center when they had Nitro and Thunder and those shows. So I don't know after that 89 show how long did it take for them to come back around this area.
Yeah, we'll check the history, but I know before when they came to Boston for the Great American Bash tour, I went to I think one or two of those, and it wasn't sold out, but it was a great card.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that time, I think it was the Horsemen versus, it was probably Dusty, the Road Warriors, and I think Nikita Koloff.
So they had all the guns on the card.
Yeah.
Just like I said, this area for the most part, the Northeast has been highly educated by WWE, and those people that only know about WWE to this day, they only know wrestling to be what they watch on television and the WWE.
Well, with that being said, I mean that is the stigma, legitimately, of Rhode Island, that if it's not WWE, you won't draw. And we've been running the Rhode Island market for years, and some markets are tough, and other organizations have done it. It is an up and down but I think that's over the years now. I think as independent promotion in Rhode Island, we're getting traction in general. I mean, there's about 3 of us that are really consistently running the area, and majority of us are doing pretty well, at the house, depending on the time of year, and other stuff doesn't, make it not go well. It is. It's Rhode Island.
Rhode Island's tough, but I was having a conversation actually on Monday when I went over to Raw with Jay Hollywood. And we talked about the market being different than back in the day. You had your grandmas, and you had your young man and woman that used to go to wrestling shows and enjoy it. Nowadays, it's mostly kids. So at times, we're not targeting the right market as far as promoting, because the kids are the ones that are going to tell the parents they want to go to wrestling.
Yeah.
If we're not targeting kids, I think we're missing out a whole lot, and I think that's part of the problem here in Rhode Island. That's certainly to go back to the drawing board and find ways for the youth and the younger generation to know about indie wrestling, know that there's wrestling shows going around that your parents can take you to, and then you can see it live and close and be like at home, kind of when you go to an independent wrestling show.
Well, and that's usually the positive thing, at least we get from the parents. The price point is better, because typically at our events in Rhode Island, they're $10 to $15 a piece. The parking is better. The prices of everything between food, drink is better.
Yeah, the interaction is a lot more personal, so better.
Yes, and so that's the thing that I get, especially like in Woonsocket from parents. They love it for that fact. And with us, they love our timeline. Our average show is just about 2 hours. Woonsocket is typically between an hour and 30 and an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. So there you go, going back to Evolution. We'll find out how that
wait a minute.
going to get covered. And how is it going to look on tape? Is it going to look like the Great American Bash? We're going to find out this weekend.
Right.
Actually, there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, because we have the boxing rematch with Amanda Serrano fighting Kathy Taylor. That's a big matchup. Also, I believe on Netflix. And we also have All Elite Wrestling. So it's a toughie, man. It's a tough weekend, and it's a busy weekend for sports and entertainment.
Well, in true fashion, those who are running outside shows, I mean, do you want to go on the outside shows?
I always call it the Dunk now, or probably Civic Center, for Raw. And it was a packed house, great house, hot crowd. There's always a hot crowd, going back to marketing certain groups, certain ages. Packed house, great crowd. I thought overall, man, it was one of the strongest Raws that I've seen live. Because usually I see a lot of commercials and a lot of talking and a lot, but the majority of the matches were good, including the 2 matches that were taped for our main event. And we had some of our trainees behind the scenes on Monday, so just going down there and check that out and to see if they were going to be on camera that night. But, you don't always get to be on camera. You don't always need to be on camera. You just need to be in the right time, right place, and you need to come through the door, and that's what we're doing right now with a lot of the students.
Well, and I mean, we had on Wednesday we did a weekend review, and normally people don't realize after we do a show, we typically do a weekend review. Even though it obviously wasn't our show, but it was we had our guys being employed by the WWE. Unfortunately, on this past Wednesday, we normally have Ken Doan there. He's typically our Wednesday trainer. He got called away for prior commitments.
Well, we just a busy 3-day weekend coming up, so I guess I wonder why he wasn't there. He wasn't with us on Wednesday. So.
Yes. So, we went over, their experience, what they did, what was good, what they learned, and, roughly it looked like there was about 8 or 9 extra talent that was booked from the New England area. So out of that 8 or 9, we had 3 of our guys that were there, which is awesome. So even though they didn't work the event, they could see a production was made. They were in the environment. Kudos to them. Learning and earning there, and they had a conversation with Regal. Mr. Doan was nice enough to have Regal speak with these young gentlemen. For about an hour and a half, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a great experience to learn from one of the best, if not the best technical guy that's been out there in our era of wrestling. William Regal, definitely a guy that knows his shit, and you gotta step forward with your left foot, kid. You're killing me. Yeah, definitely. I hope those guys, take the advice they're getting from another mouth, from another body, and some of the ones that did go there said that they've heard it before.
Well, that was humbling. That one of the guys looked at me and he goes, "This is exactly what Vega, Zaj, you, BRG."
Just so they know, a lot of the shit. I was in that predicament to hear critique from William Regal, hear critique from Dean Malenko and Arn Anderson and my time going up to television. So it's not shit that we're making up, it's shit that comes with experience and trial and error. Before we continue on, because I know we're going to talk about SmackDown next month, I actually stumbled across a shoot interview with Elias, and he was talking about his journey and how he had to make different sacrifices just to get even considered to do the stuff that we have our kids under 5 years doing, and I can relate to that because back in the day, for you to get a trial, you have to pay. Yep. This is going back to when they were in a little shitty warehouse, and it was FCW, and you would fill an application and send $1,000 in, and you have to pay for your expense and fly yourself out there. And they were brutally honest. They told him he was a shit switch. You know how many times he went back? He went 3 times. $3,000 for him to tell him he was a shit every single time. And then he quit. He worked at it, kept going, and it finally happened. It didn't happen because he was lucky. It happened because he took the advice, didn't get offended. You use it as motivation to get better, and you put in the work. And this is what we try to tell guys. Do not get offended by what people tell you. Use it as motivation, and go back to the drawing board and see, realize the shit that we're trying to get across. So, it just made a lot of sense that these guys are so lucky, and at times I don't even think that they realize how lucky they are.
Well, and I told them, I say, I'm sending them emails with documents for them to sign. High school, who was filling out paperwork for potentially do some work for WWE, and 18, potentially that's huge.
Yeah. So it's not giving. You have to earn it.
Yes.
Even if you get it, it doesn't mean that is it. When you get there, that's when the real work starts. Yeah,
and that's one thing we drill it into our guys and gals is it is hard work, and they're the ones who are physically doing the work. We're the ones who help push them to go further.
Yeah, and that's all part of the process. I mean, going back to the another key point, going back to the Elias thing, back then, and I'll include myself because I was around doing tryouts during that time, 2007, 2008. You would have to get in the ring physically and have matches, and work in front of the agents, work in front of bench at times, whoever was there. And you would have to cut a promo, and they would critique you, and they would fucking, write it down. This guy, don't bring him back until 6 months. Don't bring this guy back at all. Don't bring this guy. A year from now, these guys are all lucky that they haven't got to that point, and we've kind of paved kind of like a way for them to have an easier road if they smart.
Well, it's easier road, and that's one thing I think I brought up on Wednesday is that, it looked like they potentially could be switching some of their format. If they're bringing in local guys, do some enhancement matches or something else.
Yeah.
You guys have to have that solid foundation between your bumps and your strikes and your selling and your gear and your physique. You got to be checking every box.
Yeah.
And some of the, I don't want to say it's not some of the secrets, but some of the formula that we do. We find out when other people come down to the training center, for a drop-in, and they're working out, that our guys a lot of times are shocked that they don't have those skills, or they're not doing some of the things that they've learned and they're doing, even though these people have been around longer. They're just not polished, or they're trained differently.
Yeah, and that's the funny part, because going back to that's why I made a post. I shared Kenny's post the other day, and I made a post. We're doing the work while others are talking the shit. Because there's still people that talk the shit, man, and those are the people that will get in the ring and not be able to do a warm-up drill like fives.
Yeah.
Those are the people that come in the door and won't be able to do a deck of cards with push-ups, burpees, and squats. And that's just the warm-up.
Yeah.
So we're not only teaching these guys how to wrestle television, how to create themselves as a character, we're conditioning them for that level of physicality. And that says a lot in comparison to a lot of these other, guys that are running around critiquing about shit that they don't realize what is happening inside the house. So, just food for thought. You want to talk about next month, SmackDown? Floor is yours.
Well, Danny, do you have, you want me to send you a message in? All right. You want me to send you the message?
Danny's sleeping today, brother.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get anything.
Oh, yeah. All right. So Ken Doan, he's typically a trainer. He comes down typically every Wednesday. He posted, it's kind of a breaking news for New England that right now, going into Cena's last match at the Garden, we have 5 guys or 5 people under that banner who got booked for that event, which is awesome. That's 5.
Yeah. He finally found it.
And I think the awesome part about that, I can tell you the timeline. We have one guy who's almost been there 2 years. One guy who was training at another facility a few years ago that closed down. He's been with us maybe about 2.5 years. He's getting his first shot. We have one guy who's been in the business for 4 years. That was a homegrown talent from Showcase. We had another guy who's over 2 years, Showcase homegrown guy. We had one guy who's been in the business, 13 years?
Yeah.
He's getting a shot, right? And he's been there, 3 times so far?
Yeah, I think, yeah, this was his, Monday was his third time.
Monday was his 3rd time, and in August will be his 4th time,
Yeah.
And the reason I'm not dropping names is because if you know, if you don't, that's your problem.
Yeah.
So it's not about what people say out there, is what you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff, especially the guy who's been around for those 13 years, talking about a roller coaster career, up and down and turnaround, for us to give him the skills and get the okay to work for one of the the number one company in the world, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not just once, but again, it'd be the fourth time going in August. And I asked Kenny, I said, hey, how the guys do on Monday? He goes, they did great. That's kudos to us because they represent Showcase Pro Wrestling, the training center, and all the trainers who have hands into it. So.
Yeah, man, and the ironic part is that even though all this great stuff's happening, a lot of people still focus on shit from the past and negativity and all this stuff, and it's just funny to see how some people still need to hold on tightly to the negativity so that they can have a little bit of a rub.
Yeah.
But for those that want to take advantage, even if you've been in the business 20 years, we usually have an open door policy for guys to come in and train and take things to the next level. And that's Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 126 Main Street, Showcase Pro Wrestling Training Center and Arena in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. You have the email address they can contact us, Blackheart?
Yep, everything is a promoter at showcaseprowrestling.com. You can send an inquiry off showcaseprowrestling.com, the website. All social media is SP Wrestling. Great shout out. We had 3 new students this past really 10 days. We had Isaac, James, and Jose. Congratulations. 3 guys that are doing phenomenal. And if you're those who want to take a full advantage of the program, about 3 slots left. It may be another one. I think one guy could have quit. I'm not sure yet. So we're going to find out. But again, we're a boutique wrestling. We're not for everybody. We don't like lines of 25, 30 guys, and you actually get in the ring every time, and you're constantly learning. Between psychology, we have a full workout equipment there that was generously donated from one of the local gyms. Psychology, you get the promos, you get the foundation, which is the biggest thing because you can't get away from the foundation. We're constantly revamping it. And then again, you have, it's funny, usually Monday we have an old school trainer and an old school trainer. On Wednesday, we usually have Ken. Then usually it's myself and another trainer, typically on Monday. So yeah, you have a variety of about 5 different people all on the same page going in and molding people.
Yeah.
As much as we don't see eye to eye, I know you were there on Tuesday, which this almost feels, with the tension with Cena, this almost feels like a child custody. Like you drop them off in the parking lot, and you're there to pick up the kid, and then the other parents pick it up. So it's really weird.
We all know I've had my fair share of that in the last 2.5 years. Going back to great, you brought that segue. Great job, you can back on the ball. Speaking of scumbags and negativity, I'll take this time slot for my public service announcement.
Oh, okay.
Aqua Law Firm, the 2 crooks, and then I think Danny knows them.
Yeah, the family. Yep.
Yeah, way to try to rip people off, and way to try to blow somebody's child custody case. I've been on that. So those 2 are gonna get the body slam eventually. Yeah, I follow my son. I just want to chop him right in the face. Yeah, save your money. Don't go to these crooks. Definitely not worth the aggravation and time and money and almost having a case defaulted for a child custody case for these 2 idiots.
Well, speaking of, this is a good segue, and I do apologize, Joel, but where in the world is Joe Davis? Do you have it up on your Facebook, Danny?
No, I mean, I'm still getting.
Oh, all right. So I look up. Everyone looks up Real Deal Fitness and Conditioning. Joel is typically every Friday night. The old Escapades in Raham. That I believe is a 7 o'clock show. Is it Cranston that's coming up too? Is Mascaras? Is that this weekend or next weekend?
No, I'm not sure. Danny's moving like crazy on the screen here, so I can't even see it on the monitor. So you're gonna have to do the honors.
Yeah, I can't read from across the screen, but that's Real Deal Fitness and Conditioning, doing some great things. So
yeah, he's got everything listed there. So if you go to his Facebook page, you're gonna see all the events that are coming up locally with the Real Deal Joe Davis. So go check that out. He's got QR code links, tickets, and all that great stuff there.
Tomorrow he's actually in the Raynham, Mass. Seafood and Cones presents Keeping It Real.
Yep.
July 11th, Raynham, Massachusetts,
Yep.
outside stage, and the 18th, back in Raynham, Mass. again. Then on the 24th, he returns to the Comedy Connection in East Providence.
Danny, you do realize that info came as late as that train you took a year. It took that long for that info to come in.
that's funny.
It was as long or longer than that train ride.
24 hours, man. That was nuts.
Speaking of being out on long rides and stuff coming up and Real Deal and events, we're coming back to action the following week at the Showcase Pro Wrestling Training Center and Arena as the boss, John Cena Sr. and Chris Blackheart, presents another episode of Showcase Saturday Night, featuring the matchup you see there on the screen, Puerto Rican Kill Crew, Notorious Rambo Godfrey, and myself, taking on two, I'm going to steal it from my buddy AC, two inconsistent losers and bums. I'm not even going to mention their names. You see their faces on the screen. No holds bar matchup, Chris Blackheart, thanks to Mr. Cena. Yeah, gonna have some fun on July 19th, 7:07 p.m. bell time.
And Monday,
What?
Chris Blackheart.
Oh, there we go. Oh, who got on the poster? Boy, Cena's main boy. Look at that.
Yeah, July 20th.
Yes.
We're coming to Rhode Island, my old stomping grounds here, and we're in West Greenwich, Rhode Island, at the Tavern on the Hill, and that is a 5 p.m. bell time event, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Blackheart. You got more details on that?
Yep, the tickets are available at the door, as in when doors do open, and also online at showcaseprowrestling.com. That is an outside show. We do advise to bring your outside lawn chair, indoor blanket, or be standing room only. We're actually going down there on Friday to do a final walkthrough because it is a new venue for us. We want to make sure logistics is what we want. But again, that's an outside show. We're looking to build a great relationship, great people over there at Tavern on the Hill. They do have some great events this weekend. There's music going on all weekend. So we'll have a big banner over there and flyers all throughout the facility, and they're excited. Now
thinking about it, Chris Blackheart, I know it's a new venue, and you and Cena have been doing some business and all that stuff to get new venues going and stuff like that. But it concerns me that we might have. Are we gonna have security for these rednecks and all these hillbillies that might show up that night? Are we gonna have crowd control for that?
Well, no, they are the security.
You can't bring your cows and your goats and your chickens to this thing. Even if you outside venue, you can't bring those type of animals.
No, you can't. Well, let's. All right,
horses, trailers.
you can't bring no cows, no goats, no geese, no ducks.
So there you go.
Yeah, you can't bring any animals.
Chris Blackheart's on the same page today. I don't know what.
No, you can't bring it. I don't care if you like them or if you date them or they're part of your family. You can't bring them.
It doesn't matter if the goat's your girlfriend. She has to stay at home. So
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back next weekend. 2 big events on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. All that info, showcaseprowrestling.com or at SP Wrestling. Tickets are available in those links as well when you go into our social media and website. Are we going to do some picks here for Saturday night's main event, or what's the deal?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, Dan, can you bring it up, or?
Yep.
Oh, you can bring that up.
It might take another 18 hours.
Hey, Mr. Zuckerberg. Mr. Zuckerberg, can you talk to Google? Why don't you break that account for him? Why don't you lock him out?
Fucking up the internet in the studio.
Another train ride.
All right. Feels like we've been waiting here for 5 minutes with Blackheart.
Yeah, well,
So, Saturday night's main event, of course, the main event, the return of Goldberg to take on the world champion Gunther. And, what are your thoughts on that while Danny gets his thing situated?
Yep, all set.
I'm going to go on that match. I'm going to say Goldberg wins.
The title?
Yeah, the more, I listened to, I forget what podcast I listened to this past week. It could happen, man. He's in his hometown, great history. I mean, and you guys can tell me too, some days the fans, they do rally and give you that extra oomph you need to go through.
Yep, definitely. A couple of weeks back, hands down, I said Gunther was going to, take it. Obviously, he's a young lion. But, everything you said makes absolute sense. Nostalgia, his hometown, people were rallied up. I think for whatever reason, Goldberg might win. But at the same time, I think that this could be a great opportunity that after people get their nostalgia moment, somebody with a briefcase could come down the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna pick Goldberg.
I like it. I like the extra.
I'm going to pick Gunther.
You're picking Gunther, Dan?
Yeah.
Is that because you saw that wedding video of him dancing?
Yeah.
Did you see
No,
that?
I didn't see that, no.
All right.
So the next match is LA Knight against Seth Rollins, which had, the Money in the Bank winner, Seth Rollins there, so.
Oh, that's a toughie, man. Like I said, I feel like I'm going to go first. I feel like somebody with a briefcase has the potential, if the Goldberg thing happens, to go and cash in that night, later in the night. So I think it might be an upset. It might be, I'm picking LA Knight.
I'm going with Seth. I think he's hot. You may not like him, but man, he's doing
I'm going to go with Seth.
doing some good evil things.
So
Then we got Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre.
So you got Rollins, and Danny got Rollins too?
Yep.
Yep.
I got LA.
Then we got Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton, and I'm going to go with Randy on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy on this one also.
I'll go with Drew. Yep.
I think this is just,
I think this could be a non-contest.
Have they had any issues? This is just a throw-in match.
It could be Drew McIntyre's been stale in the last several pay-per-views. Then you have the United States Champion Solo Sikoa, the new one. United States Champion versus Jimmy Uso. I think that was Jimmy on this one.
No, I'll go with Solo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Solo retaining the title.
Yeah, I think Jacob is probably going to be involved in that. I think that's
it could be a smudge as well.
Yeah.
I'll go with Solo.
Yep, and that's it right now for the matches.
Yeah, there's 4 matches. We'll probably have one more. Probably have a women's match.
Yeah. Speaking of women's match, man, it was hard to watch that freaking women's match on Raw this past Monday.
Now, did you watch it live?
Yeah, I watched it live.
And so even though the match, you said you didn't like it, how did the fans react to it?
How did the fans not react to it? I mean, the biggest pop was the finish. Obviously, the match is over. But, yeah, just, I think they were, I don't know if they were rushing, but it's just not clicking. A lot of boo-boos along the way. So, those boo-boos, you try to limit them when you're on national, now streaming, you're worldwide in Netflix, you try to limit those boo-boos. When I go back, I just could think of a lot other girls that could be in that same scenario.
Yep.
I mean, she did get thrown to the wolves quick, so, yeah, wasn't a fan.
So on that whole card, right? Did you take any notes, or do you remember who got like the best reaction?
Best reaction, hands down. I mean, Rikishi was lovely right now. I mean, we all know that Jey Uso, he doesn't need a belt. That I said since the beginning. I mean, the guy's just over. The kids love him. Every kid in that arena was standing doing his gimmick. So
that's good.
How can you argue that? You know what I mean? Like, you just can't. So, yeah, definitely Jey Uso is the most over guy in that roster right now.
To me, I think they added too many women's titles right now.
And surprisingly, before I move on real quick, I told other people this, but I think in the near future, Mr. Cross is going to break out, even though he got dealt a shitty hand before, because people are just loving him right now.
Yeah.
He also had a great reaction, even though he's doing the evil shit to Sammy. I think that story is gonna end up with him bringing Sammy over to the other side. So, yeah, I think Cross is gonna be another one that's gonna get to that point that is gonna finally break out and become something big if they don't screw it up.
Well, speaking of breaking out, what we didn't mention yet is a TNA 25th.
As of 8 a.m. this morning.
TNA, yeah, they're coming to the Ryan Center.
Yeah, which I think would be a true testament. We're talking about, they came in before. Last time they were really here, well, they went to casino.
Was that the casino? Yeah, I was at that event.
Yeah, and how was that?
It was a good night. I mean, they had a good crowd, but I also remember going and actually working a show that Dave Marquez was running with like an NWA affiliation at that time, and they drew about the same. But TNA probably had about over 1,000 people.
Yeah, which at that time they were like the number 2 company, you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no one. Yeah, so you could just see WWE selling out. At the dunk at 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the show quality is good, so it'd be good. I mean, they've been hot lately, and selling out products been good. So the fact
I think they're gonna do well, man. I seen a lot of every day. I see it multiple times a day. They're advertising on Instagram and Facebook and all over the place. So they might do good at the Ryan Center. I mean, it's a 2-day deal. They have Thursday, July 24th, and Friday, July 25th, and there's a live television taping at the Ryan Center in Kingston, Rhode Island.
Yeah, so I'll actually give a nice little plug. Well, we gave the plug there for them, but one of the talking about we trained everybody. We had a guy who did an internship with us, and he's actually getting some work on the camera field that night.
Okay.
So which is really great. He made a connection.
You just never know who might show up that night, because Blackheart.
Yeah, no, it's good. So kudos. One thing's, and I'll pick your brain on this. We were talking about maybe doing a separate program for non-wrestlers.
Yes.
Production, camera, editing, because wrestling is its own animal, and is not just about the ring work. It's about a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Definitely, it takes a lot of people to put a show together, especially to that extent. When you have television, it takes a lot more people than you can imagine, and I go nuts when I have to sit in the audience at times because I hear people whispering behind me, and if they only knew what it took to run the show that they're watching, they would have a whole new respect for what they're watching and how it's done and the hard work that goes into it. I mean, just picture Hollywood production literally in an arena, and the movie's just being played as it's happening. You know, there's no time for error. So just imagine that. I mean, filming a movie, you got 12, 14-hour days that you can take multiple takes. Wrestling, you go out there and you do it. You know, and yeah, definitely. A lot of people don't know the process and what it takes to put on a show. So yeah, production, camera work, referees, anything. We're training everybody for different stuff. And if you're interested on doing that, come see the school, check it out. 126 Main Street in Woonsocket for training. What else we got?
Danny, anything in the chat box?
I sent you, let's go to the chat, and then I sent you a poster earlier too, Danny.
So in the chat box, just Frank Rocher and Aiden Carroll saying, "What's up, guys?"
Oh, speaking of that, Aiden, get well. Aiden's one of our trainers. Not trainers, one of our trainees. So he had a little mishap, nothing training related, but looks like he's doing pretty good. So Aiden, get better. We'll see you back at training soon. I'd like to also send out condolences to Jackson. Jackson is trained at our banner for years. He's a referee for us. I mean, lost his mom. Right now it's probably about 15 days ago. So anyone who wants the information to go on Saturday, it's at 12 o'clock in Woonsocket. Just hit us up. We'll be happy to share that for you, to send your respect to Jackson and his family. So on behalf of everyone, Showcase Pro Wrestling, we know Jarvis has reached out to Jackson. We know it's a tough time. Both of us has been there, with our parents 5 years ago. So it is tough, Jackson. We're all here for you.
Yep, I definitely reached out to him, and I said the same thing. We're a phone call away. If you need to be there in person for anything, we will.
Oh, that's why, because you guys are in a group with my other page that was locked out. So that's why you guys, I don't get your messages, because I started a whole new different group chat. So
so you started a new group for the podcast.
Yeah.
With you and who else?
Me, you, Julio, and Don.
But did you invite us yet, or?
Yeah.
What? Oh, you just did it?
No.
So Danny, go to on Facebook, go to Powerhouse Wrestling NE.
Yeah.
And that brings us to one of our other plugs. Next event, Powerhouse Wrestling is back September 20th. We're back at the Sturbridge Hotel in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. If Danny gets the poster up. It's been taking a little while. Those Amtrak trains been on the slow thing. But there you see it. The poster is the 25th anniversary of Powerhouse Wrestling, September 20th. 7:30 p.m. bell time. You see it on the poster. The debut of Rich Swann, the former Cruiserweight Champion, WWE Cruiserweight Champion, former TNA World Champion, debuts for Powerhouse Wrestling. The return of the real one, Enzo Amore. He'll be in action. And that guy right there with his tongue out, the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, is coming over to challenge me for the Powerhouse Wrestling Heavyweight Championship on that night. So definitely get your tickets at eventbrite.com for that. You see the QR code right there on the bottom corner. Powerhouse Wrestling NE for all the info on Facebook and Instagram. You're going to be seeing a lot of different promos and stuff on the road to the 25th anniversary of Powerhouse Wrestling in Sturbridge, Massachusetts on September 20th. Chris Blackheart, you gonna go down there and support Gangrel?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, and it was no inspiration, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he part of the Blackhearts back in Florida territory?
Yes, he was a Blackheart in the territory, and he was, I believe, he was a Blackheart in Japan.
Yeah,
He
so
might have been Blackheart in WWF.
yeah, you never know. There could be more than one in the house.
So what are you telling me? You gotta pay this guy off now to like jump me or whatever?
Put it this way, there's a lot of people that owe me favors over the years who may have to start cashing them in.
I'm gonna have to call Cena on this. Yeah, not that I don't worry about losing the title or anything, but you know. Here we go. I thought we were kind of on the same foot this week, but all right. What else we got? We got anybody else in the chat?
Well, no, the fact that Danny, everything I sent him for the past 2 hours before the show, he can't get access to.
Yeah, he sent it to the wrong one.
Danny was posting happy pictures on his Facebook and got canceled. So, yeah, now those messages you sent are definitely lost.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's kind of funny. So, Danny, let's get the update from you. When are you going to Ohio, Danny? Is any update on that?
Well, nothing yet. The guy on the promoter, I guess he had some medical problems, so the show got postponed.
All right.
He was supposed to go in late June, but the show got postponed.
So you're taking a plane, a train, and an automobile to get there?
I told him plane only, man.
Oh, plane only, okay. Make sure you get that on writing.
Yeah, no more trains for me, man. Screw that shit.
So, with that being, oh, there he is. There he is on camera now. I don't know the time. You still got time left this week, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes if you want it.
All right, so, speaking of different things, and I know we've been just kind of shooting the shit and doing more wrestling news and other stuff, but I got some news for you next week. I'm going to have a guest on the pod. I ran into the gentleman. I've been meaning to talk to him for a while. We finally agreed he'll be on a video call next week here joining us. Former New England wrestling star Ray Roy, known as Pierre Mountie, will be joining us next week on the Showcase Pod. He's going to share some stories, some of the journey, some of his matches with WWF, and all that good stuff. So Ray Roy, the Mountie, he'll be in the house in the Showcase Pod here next week when we come on the air.
Yeah, so why don't we do like a Leo Connors format? If anyone has questions, for Ray, why don't you shoot everything, to us at SP Wrestling. If you have any questions, we'll ask them.
Yes. So some questions, be good. I think for young kids out there, it's a different era. He's also a fellow trainee of Walter Kilgore, Chris Blackheart. Your trainer, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna have some stories about training.
Fantastic! I love stories.
So definitely, looking forward to it. Ray was one of the guys that when I was breaking in, he was a helping hand, and I had lots of matches with Ray. So it's gonna be great to catch up with him here next week.
Fantastic! And now I do give you kudos for that. That is very good booking for the pod.
We gotta go back and then give a little guest here and there. And another talent that we're in the works of having in the Showcase Pod, and I know you talked to him, and I briefly talked to him a couple of weeks ago. It's one Jason Blade. We're gonna set the time slot for that. We're gonna have him on the pod pretty soon. Another guy that was a breakout guy in New England, worked all over Florida, Ring of Honor. Veteran of New England wrestling, Jason Blade, another guy that's upcoming guest in the Showcase Pod. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks.
No, and that goes to a true example. You never know who may pop in that door at the training center, because he literally popped in, and I probably haven't seen him in 20 years, because the last time I probably saw him was at the Fisherman's Club. Which is kind of funny, but you wrestled with him at NECW more often.
Yeah, I wrestled with him, spotters, NECW, a few ins and outs here and there, and I wrestled him recently, a few years ago, for another promotion I'm not going to mention. In their first main event matchup, it was Jason Blade and I. closing out the show there. So definitely great to see Blade. He's always been a great guy, always a humble guy. So, we'll share some stories here, and he'll share his journey. And if you're a young talent, you definitely want to tune in for that one.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
What else you got for Blackheart?
No, kind of going down that format. If you do know somebody who wants to get this story out, or we haven't seen in years, have them reach out to us. We'll be able to put somebody on.
Yeah.
Especially this way.
Or if you don't like Chris Blackheart.
I was hoping to say that even if they don't like you, or Dan Badandi or myself, or they want to clear the air, and get on the right page, because some days as we get older, we get wiser. So we do have, maybe we should do another show too. I was thinking today, like an open line. We'll put the phone number online so people have it ahead of time, and then just call them with random questions.
Well, people usually want to use, they're on the internet. People want to express their feelings, but they want to use fake names.
They want to hide their feelings. Yeah. Okay, but which is kind of funny because, my face is live. Danny is slow, but still live. and you're live, via video. So yeah, we're all exposed. So
we're all live. We're on
live.
We're streaming, so we're all live. Everybody's live.
Yeah, live and in person. And guess what? You see our reactions. You see the live.
And there's one place I'm going to be live is July 19th at the Showcase Pro Wrestling Arena, defending my YouTube World Championship. So I'm telling you guys, have been training hard, have been powerlifting and getting stronger by the day. And I'm telling you, whoever steps in the ring Saturday, July 19th, you got to be some serious hurting.
Well, and we'll do that too. Next Thursday, we'll announce some of the match card. I know Jay Evans has an issue with you since you won that title.
He's still crying over the loss.
Well, there's a lot of people with a lot of issues, so we'll have all that good stuff here next week, along with Pierre the Mountie, Ray Roy, here on the Showcase Pod. Is it time yet, or we still got?
It is. This is it. You want to take us home?
So this was a good one. We got our picks for Saturday night's main event. What a weekend of wrestling. Is Blackheart going to be watching every night, or are you softball daddy this weekend?
No. Softball is done for the summer, which is actually good. So I'm thinking, Saturday I should be good watching the main event.
All right. So we'll find out what happens. We'll find out who wins our little deal here that we had going on. But for now, for this week, this has been the Showcase Pod. For Dave Badandi, for Boss Chris Blackheart, 70% Boss Chris Blackheart, I take that back. And Don Vega. We'll see you next week. Showcase Pod.